Hey you. Yeah, you. Did you own one of these? Well, I hope you did, because today we're going to be taking a trip down memory lane and we're going to be looking at the Xbox 360. And if you didn't and you just want to reminisce with all of the people hitting UNC status, that's fine too. Yeah, sure. The Xbox 360 is like never talked about anymore, and the only time I really hear about it nowadays is whenever they come up in those depressing, like nostalgic videos at 3 a.m. in my TikTok feeds that always have one of these three songs. But I'll be damned if nobody talks about the Xbox 360 anymore, because that was literally my childhood. And maybe your childhood too. And even though later on Microsoft fumbled with the Xbox One and more recently the Xbox Series S or X, I feel like the Xbox 360 shouldn't be under this tainted legacy that Microsoft has dug itself into. There was so much happening in the generation of the Xbox 360 that I feel like it would be a disservice not to talk about it at some point in my life. So this is pretty much that. This is going to be a retrospective of the Xbox 360. Thanks for coming along on the ride. Let's get started. You ready? I'm ready. I hope you're ready, otherwise that's not good. I just want to kick this off by talking about the feel of the console. Now, if you're paying attention, you might be wondering, well, what do I mean by feel of the console? What I mean is the actual experience that you saw and heard anytime you interacted with the console, not even including the games. More specifically, the UI and sound design. If you don't know what UI is because you're not a software developer, that's fine. Not all of us can be as cool as we are. UI means the user interface. So essentially, how does the product look and feel whenever you're interacting with it? In the Xbox 360's case, what I'm referring to are all of the menus, the home dashboards, all of that. All of the navigation that your greasy little gamer fingers were doing back in the day. So let's talk about these menus. Microsoft released a few overhauls of the home screen menu over the years, and in each of these, I think you can see the evolution for the type of aesthetic that they were going for. When the 360 first launched in 2005, the first dashboard that was standard on every Xbox 360 was called the Blades dashboard. As you could see with how fucking blindingly bright it was clearly inspired by the Y2K era, which was wrapping up, I think, around that time. All of that surrealistic Vertigo arrow art, which also appears in my TikTok feeds at 3 a.m. That shit really needs to stop. I can't be constantly wishing to go back to the past every night while I'm doom scrolling in bed. I can't imagine that it's good for my mental health. Then they transitioned to the revamped version of the dashboard during the Kinect era. This dashboard essentially had a vertical menu with a bunch of tiles, and it looked a lot more cleaned up and interactive than the original Blades dashboard. I remember anytime you signed in, you had your little avatar jump out at you and do a little like dance wave thing. Speaking of avatars, let's talk about the avatars. Not that avatar, I'm talking about this one. Not that avatar either, I'm talking about this one. The avatars on the Xbox 360 were pretty fucking cool if you asked me. Being able to dress your avatar with accessories from games that you grinded out achievements for was a pretty cool thing that the Xbox 360 allowed you to do. I remember having the med kit from Left 4 Dead in which your avatar would hold it up and set it down awkwardly, and yeah, it was cool. Now, avatars weren't unique to the Xbox 360. They're still around. They came out on later consoles, but they're allegedly being shut down or something. But in the next generation on Xbox One, I noticed the avatars looked chopped.
Fucking excited as hell to see the new avatars on Xbox, and I chose the waves with the fade, right?
Later on, Xbox changed the dashboard design to the more modernized one, which is now currently what it is now, and I'm not really a fan of this one compared to the Kinect tiles, but I guess that's just me. That wraps up the experience of the console. Now let's talk about the meat and potatoes. Games. We're trying to play some games. Now this is where the Xbox 360 cemented itself as the GOAT. Because yeah, you can talk about hardware, you could talk about whatever fucking next gen mumbo jumbo slop you want to talk about, but the 360's games were really what set it apart from the PS3, in my honest opinion. You can't talk about the Xbox 360 without mentioning Halo, so let's get that out of the way. Halo 3 has been cemented as one of the most influential games of all time. It pretty much defined the whole like 2007, 2008 era. There's still that GameStop somewhere that has the Halo 3 mural on the side of it, and yeah, that's pretty cool. Halo Reach was also one of the best games in the series. I remember playing Forge mode, and I was messing around all the time with grids. I don't know if you guys remember grids, but you can rotate them, and they would send your character flying off the map. That was pretty cool for me. I remember playing Halo with my older brother, and we always played Firefight together. That was pretty cool. Now, in terms of Call of Duty, there's several titles I can talk about here, but I'm going to stick to the main three that I played growing up. If I don't mention it here, don't fucking kill me. Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, and MW3. These three games were the ones that I played by far the most growing up, and I was giddy looking up at the screen, looking at the horrors of war, while I tried to grind out diamond camos, which I never ended up accomplishing. I made a video a few years back where I had talked about Black Ops 2 10 years later, if you're interested. That video is pretty much me just glazing the game and reminiscing, kind of similar to what I'm doing now to this console. So yeah, I'll leave the link below for your viewing pleasure if you want to check that one out. That one's also a pretty good video, except I didn't know how to use a green screen, and I'm hoping that when I use this one, it comes out right. So yeah. By the way, if you like the video so far, feel free to press that little like button down there so that Mark Zuckerberg knows that my videos are great for the masses and my face will appear in other people's feeds. So thank you. I would really appreciate that. Do you remember Left 4 Dead? I do. I still play it to this day. Left 4 Dead on the Xbox 360 was one of my favorite games growing up. Even though it regularly dropped to like 15 or 20 FPS and it was really hard to actually play the game at some points, I still had a blast playing it. Do you remember Guitar Hero? I do. It was one of those games where you and your family could be gathered around the TV and, you know, engaging with each other, or your entire family watching awkwardly as you try to 100% through the fire and the flames on expert, and they don't really know what to say, but they're trying to be supportive. Minecraft. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but Adrian, Minecraft is a PC game. I doubt you were thinking that. I just want to be contentious because I'm an asshole. Minecraft on the Xbox 360 was iconic. It allowed you to create anything with your imagination. And in my case, when I was 12 years old, Minecraft let me create a bunch of worlds that most I don't even remember. But I know that I was letting my imagination run wild, and that's what mattered. I remember when I played a video game and was connected with a bunch of other people playing the same video game, I remember I just always thought that it was really fucking cool, but not always. Some lobbies, and more specifically Call of Duty Search and Destroy lobbies, was pure Darwinism. People were not nice. They really were not nice, not even close to nice. Quite the opposite, actually. But not all of the experiences were negative. There were times that I met extremely cool people, and I remember I would befriend random people even when I didn't have a microphone. So I remember the way that I would interact with some of these people would be that like we would all get into a party together and I would hear their voices coming out of my TV because I didn't have a headset, and they would ask me like, hey, what do you want to play? And then I would like furiously type a message manually on my Xbox 360 controller, which did not have the texting attachment, until I typed out my message and I sent them my desired game that I wanted to play. Genuinely goated people. I really hope that they're doing well nowadays, and they made some random kid online who grew up most of the time without a headset feel included. And hopefully they're doing well. Gamerscore. Do you remember Gamerscore? I remember Gamerscore. The score that you got from games was called Gamerscore. Achievements were introduced on the Xbox 360, and every person who had an Xbox Live profile had a Gamerscore level that was an indicator of how much you grinded out your games. You'd be able to see if somebody 100%ed a video game, you know, games that people really liked. They would get every single achievement, and it was pretty cool. Now you might be tempted to ask, hey Adrian, you already covered the games. Why are you giving indie games their own section of the video? I am so glad you asked. I feel like the Xbox 360 indie games are by far one of the most underrated aspects of that era. So many $1 gems that provided hours of game time that I would buy with Microsoft points. Yeah, do you remember Microsoft points? I do. Before Minecraft was released on the 360, there were several titles that were clear, obvious Minecraft clones, but many of them had their own twists on it. You had the classic Castle Miners Eve, which I still think to this day, hands down, is the greatest Xbox 360 indie game that was ever created at any point in time. The Minecraft style with the guns, the zombies, the dragons, the awful animations. The game had it all for 10-year-old me, and I didn't have Minecraft on the Xbox yet, so this $1 that I begged my mom to buy me a Microsoft points card for went to good use. Murder Miners was another Minecraft clone, but the spin on this one was that it was a Halo-inspired shooter. Total Miner was a certified classic. I played the shit out of this game. I hosted online obstacle course obbies that dozens of people played. This game was one of the elite Minecraft clones, and the soundtrack was also a banger. Shout out to Kevin MacLeod. Zombie Estate will go down in history as one of the best Xbox 360 games of all time. This goes without saying. No Luca No was probably one of the worst games that I think I've ever purchased. I lost $1 for a simple game in which you have a hand and you push a cat away from your cereal. Yo,
Luger, get the fuck off my shit! You ain't getting no fucking catnip for months, motherfucker! Get your ass back in the garage! I will move your litter box to the fucking street!
I Made a Game with Zombies in It was a great game. Yes, I Made a Game with Zombies in It was the name of the game, and it included this amazing 13-minute long soundtrack that I've been bumping ever since I rediscovered it, and it's on Spotify in case you're interested. Really simple game, really dope soundtrack, and yeah, it was pretty fun too. And then finally, I couldn't forget Doritos Crash Course. Yes, the game in which you traverse an obstacle course with your avatar with some pretty dynamic levels. I remember there was the chicken out option if you needed to be a pussy.
Beam got me again! Oh, fucking spike trap again! Come on!
Anyway, I think that's the end of the indie games that I'm going to be talking about at least. Please let me know if there were other indie game classics that I forgot about in this video. I'm sure there's several. So by now, you know that I am a big fan of the Xbox 360, and I hope that I would be right in my assumption that you are also a big fan of the Xbox 360 because you made it to this point in the video. This console made my childhood. I played the hell out of it as a kid. I suffered like 2 red rings of death, and I accidentally broke my older brother's Xbox because I tripped on a controller wire that sent the console tumbling to the ground. I don't think he's forgiven me to this day. Anyway, with the Xbox 360's success, surely Microsoft would not fumble their next console. Microsoft would continue to fumble their next-gen release of the Xbox 720 because they kept talking about TV.
TV, watch TV, TV, TV remote, TV experience, TV.
Microsoft fucked up. And the Xbox 360 will forever be what I primarily believe the Xbox to be. Because it was the console that was Xbox at its best. Games were great, the indie games were great, player base was great, they were actually doing well in the market against the PlayStation. So in my eyes, the Xbox 360 will likely go down in history as one of the best consoles of all time. Was there something about the Xbox 360 that I didn't talk about in this video? Feel free to leave a comment below, and yeah, hit that like button so I can appear in more people's feeds in these algorithms that are squeezing our dopamine receptors dry. And if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. That would really help me out. I would really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.